Hey folks! In this video we're going to make a dust collector sanding drum attachment thingamajig for the drill press. I'm going to illustrate here with some cutting-edge 3D graphics what we're going to be building. There's going to be a base here that attaches to the table of the drill press, and then we're going to build some walls around it to hold what is going to be the work surface on top. It's going to have a hole in the center that will allow some clearance for the sanding drum to go through. And the whole thing is going to be hollow. So in this end here, we're going to have a vacuum port that will attach to my dust extraction system. And then hopefully all the dust that is generated using this thing as a sanding drum is going to be sucked in and out and never be a problem for us to breathe that stuff. To build that, we're going to be using some aluminum that I need to cut to size. This needs to be about 6 inches. Well, not gonna be working in the backyard shed today.
The next day.
Now that the blizzard stopped, we can get back to work here. And cutting aluminum with the table saw is not ideal, even if you have a metal cutting blade, because it tends to fling aluminum shards everywhere, and that's terrible. So one way to do this, and make it slightly more safe, is you put a piece of scrap wood over where you're going to be cutting and hold it down while you're passing it through the saw, and that should keep the flakes of aluminum from flying around everywhere. But that's no excuse not to wear safety glasses, so always use safety glasses when doing any kind of work like this. I still got aluminum everywhere. I considered doing this in the lathe, but I admit I am terrified of turning a big square object that I cannot mechanically secure to the chuck. I would have had to use glue and attach to a plate that then it would be held by the chuck, and I don't like doing that. So I improvised it on the drill press. Yeah! It's hot, hot. This little piece here will support the inserts for the smaller drums from the inside. I'll attach it on the bottom later. Oops, that's the wrong size. Good thing I realized soon enough. The inserts for the hole here I'm going to make with some acrylic. And I'll have to cut the side walls, and then I'll be done with all the heavy cutting. And I can go back inside where it's nice and warm. It's freezing out here. Now I can begin assembling the sides, but one of them needs a hole for the vacuum exhaust port, and I estimate about the size and shape I need it to be. This ideally would be cut with a mill, but I don't have one. So who needs a mill when you have files? And hacksaw with a weight attached to it. It's good exercise. Maybe I should start a GoFundMe thing to get a mill. Do they make benchtop mills? I think they do. because I don't have where to put a full-size mill in this workshop. I never mentioned I don't like working with aluminium. Strange, isn't it? Considering all the stuff I make out of it. But yeah, I don't like it. It's too gunky of a metal.
Many minutes later.
There, who needs a mill? And now we need to make a vacuum adapter thing. To make one of those things, I'll get a PVC pipe of the size I use with my dust extraction system. And I'll put the PVC pipe in some boiling water to soften it and make it pliable. Then we put it in a vise and squeeze it to get the shape we want. Then I'll put it in cold water to set the shape. Then we just need some minor adjustments and it will be perfect. Alright, let's put it all together. I'm going to use some masking tape to hold it temporarily in place so I can drill holes for the screws that is going to hold it together permanently. I'm going to run the belt sander all around it to even out the finish on the sides. Now that I have this part made and I got it stuck here trying it out, I just need to cut it to size and this piece will be done. So I'm debating how to attach this piece here to the bottom that's going to hold all the inserts from behind. And originally I considered epoxy. And then I thought about maybe some tiny little screws, but I think I'm just going to use super glue. And make sure I didn't get any fingers glued in. Now we're good. Now let's drill some holes to put the bolts that are going to hold this to the table of the drill press. Alright, time to put it together and see if it works as intended. Let's try out on a piece of scrap wood first without the vacuum to see what kind of mess it makes. Look at all that wood dust. Now let's put the vacuum on. Look at that! This is very good. See, without vacuum, with vacuum. It works! I love when things work! So that's it. I'm gonna be using this on a few upcoming projects, so stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a like and comment if you have any questions or any comments to leave. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.